So I think my microphone was off. Anytime from now, my guest should pop up on the screen. So we are coming behind the schedule. She actually worked today, and so she's joining us. So, and these are part of the dedication that we normally see from nurses around the world. She did nights, and um, she has to get back home, try to do a few things and get set for the interview. It's an interesting thing about nurses around the world. It's International Nurses Week. Kindly invite your friends to join us. Yes, we are waiting for the guests. Sorry for keeping you guys late behind us. Still waiting for her to pop up on the screen. I'm still waiting for my guests. Kindly bear with us. If for you that are watching my video for the first time, this is Highlands Health Media. Is actually a channel dedicated for health information. So my channel is actually meant to share information about health. I mean, the latest things about health, health issues, um, about what is happening, then how to take care about yourself and the society. So it's actually a channel that was built and just to, I mean, give out information about the health, and it also involved researches in healthcare industry. So I used to invite healthcare practitioners to come up on my show to discuss about the trend or about the event or what is happening in healthcare industry. So like today, it is International World Nurses Day. So we are expecting my guest to pop up on the screen anytime from now. Kindly bear with us. So the and some videos that were meant to help educate us about our state of health. You will see that for some times now, I've been trying to do some videos about, about our immunity, then about the COVID-19 vaccines. And so this is actually what this channel is all about. So from time to time, I do invite healthcare professionals, doctors, nurses, pharmacists, researchers in healthcare industries, and even writers in healthcare industries. So they come up on my show to talk about what they are doing. So I would like to appreciate Chikwado Space for coming up on the show. Thank you very much. So I think I am still expecting and waiting for my guest to pop up on the screen because she actually have devoured the personality of my guest. So she actually supposed to she asked for a few minutes to do a few things. She did night duty in the hospital, and due to time differences, it's just morning in the United States. So she needed to get back home as quick as possible to do one or two things for the family before popping up on the screen. These are the dedications that we see in nurses around the world. They are devoted, they are dedicated, you know, they are up to the task, combining the homework, the society, the work in the society, the community work, and their professional job. See? And this errand work is so demanding that they need to put all their efforts into it. And this is exactly what happened, not only for nurses, for doctors, for all the healthcare professionals. This These are the energy they put in ensuring that the world is safe. And that is why they needed to be celebrated. A day should be dedicated for their celebrations. They are not just healthcare professionals, but their impact, their input is very, very important in our society. Very, very important in the society. We imagine a situation whereby we don't have a good healthcare industry. So what happens to you and I is going to be very catastrophic. So it's actually something that is very, very important for all of us to do, and very, very important for all of us to know that these are the representative, they call them angels in disguise. They have their own challenges, but the challenges should never show on their face because this was what we're trained for. You empathize, you don't sympathize. So you don't come up to the work on the day, even we had a bad day at home, and you not be wearing a weary face. No. So that is exactly what happened. So it's actually an interesting. These are the people that we need to give kudos to all the time for keeping the society safe. They are doing a very wonderful job, a very great job. Muriwa, thank you for coming up. Thank you very much for coming up on the show. I also appreciate Chikwajo's space. Thank you very much for coming up on the show. I'm still waiting for my guest to. It's actually a live interview, and just as I rightly said, she's actually United States. She's a nurse midwife. She's registered not in Nigeria, also registered not in United States. She did nights, and this, with the time differences, it's just morning in United States. So she needed to get back home as quick as possible to do one or two things, and especially with the family. Then she will be popping up on the screen as soon as she's free. So she told me she will just take a few minutes, but let me see, try to get across to her and see what happens. Thank you for coming up on the show. We can invite as many as possible of our friends to please come up, thumb up, put your comments. Yeah, Muruba, thank you very much. It's actually great. Yes, it's very great, and nurses around the world needed to be celebrated. It's very, very important. They play a very important role in the society, in the hospital. Not only in the hospital, they have a very functional roles in the development of the society as well. So they are important people. Nurses, midwife. Fortunately, again, I think it is also this particular week, if I'm not mistaken, is also midwife. Uh, there is a day too in this week that is actually dedicated for the midwife. Too. So you can also see how things are just overlapping one another because the whole world has seen it clearly how wonderful they are, how special they are, most especially during this COVID-19 pandemic. We saw it, we saw the exactly wow. So these are the nurses. So they could be up to this. But so people never they on because they underestimate the what do you call it, the capacity of of nurses around the world. But we saw it. It was an eye opener to all of us that wow, nurses can do more than this. They can do wonderful things around the world. So that is why this day was actually set aside that we needed to hear about, we needed to celebrate them, we need to commemorate nurses around the world. And it's also another important thing to share it across the world that even in some parts of the world, it's been so quite challenging for nurses to have a very good place, a safer place to practice. Even at the war front, we see nurses trying as much as possible to deliver healthcare. They put their life on the line. I think my guest is actually around now, so let me have her straight to the screen, and we start with our show. Thank you very much for coming up. I understand there is no need for you to take apologies. I've already said
Well, let me make
all
apologies because I actually came late. That was not the plan. I'm so
I
sorry.
understand. I understand. And this is exactly what I was saying about nurses around the world. So dedicated. So so passionate. you did night job. I invited you for this interview. You were supposed to be taking the rest by now, taking care of the family. Many of us we slept in our homes. I'm talking now. I'm not talking as a nurse, but as a healthcare professional. We have been interviewing you, so I'll be talking as ordinary person in society. So many of us we slept. We had the night. We had the nice time with our family. We slept in our house, and yet you great people, you still go to work at night. You take care of people. Then this is very wonderful. So there is no problem about coming up late on the show. Now, straight to the main event of the day. I will start with this particular little, short, information about International Nurses Day. It's actually a day that was set aside around the world to celebrate nurses and the nursing profession. May 12th, every year, nurses around the world commemorate the birth anniversary of Florence Nightingale. This year, Nurses Week was actually set to be run through May 10 to May 16. And the theme for the celebration, for this year's celebration is We Answer the Call. We Answer the Call. I think the theme is very great. And it's mind-blowing, mind-blowing at the same time. It's saying that we answer the call. It is like the call, and everybody is answering the call. So my guest today is I'm not going to into details about her profile, but she's popularly known as I don't know if you've changed your appellation. That is I know no staffing up, if I'm right.
Correct. No scarf is up.
No, Scarf is up. And she's actually on Instagram, and she's doing so many wonderful things on Instagram as well. You can follow her on Instagram. She shares wonderful tips about the healthcare, most especially for mothers. I think she dedicated her Instagram page to mothers, so she do a lot of wonderful, great job on Instagram. Thank you very much, no Scarf, for the show.
Hello, everybody. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me, my Oga and my brother Abby. Thank you so much, and happy Nurses Week to everybody. Like this week is for all of us. It's to celebrate the good work we are doing. Is to illuminate the world with our light. We sacrifice a lot for people not to celebrate us. At least if they don't celebrate us, we celebrate ourselves, right? So yeah, happy Nurses Week, everybody.
Happy Nurses Week to everybody. Now let's go straight to our discussion. My first question is, who is actually a nurse? And the reason for asking this question, I want to take from a perspective. I know it's quite different in every part of the world, and I'm bringing you on the show because you've tasted. Don't let me say you've tasted. You've worked in a society where things are not right, and now you are working in a society where things are actually better because there is no better society. There is no perfect society. So I want you to give us definitions. Who is a nurse from a society that things are not right, and from a society that things are far more better?
Well, my own definition is not the regular definition. So to me, a nurse is a caregiver, an health manager, a health promoter, a health maintainer, and that's who we are. We are the glue that actually, the nurse is the glue that actually holds the patient's healthcare journey together. And this we do through health management, illness prevention, and health promotion. And how do we achieve this? Through counseling, educating, coordinating care, and collaborating with the wide array of other healthcare professionals, and that is who you have. We had the center, we had the heartbeat of the hospital, and that is what a nurse should project in a sane society, you know. But in a society that is not sane, they see you as just somebody that serve medication or just give injection. We are more than that, because if you are not there to coordinate care, if you are not there to educate, to do the health promotion part of this job, then it won't work, you know. You have to be the one to collaborate. Oh, we have the physiotherapist has to come and see the patient. You are the one that will give that person. You spend more time with this patient. You are the first point of contact, and most of the time you are the last point of contact for this patient. So, what image are you giving? How are you making sure that all these cares are coordinated? And of course, you know, there are different specialties in nursing now that makes you know that at each at each stage of this patient's healthcare, the nurse is always there. So we are that glue. A nurse, that is my definition. A nurse is the glue that holds a patient healthcare journey together through health management, health promotion, and illness prevention.
Thank you very much. A nurse is the glue that holds everybody together in the healthcare sector. Now,
Yeah.
are you telling us that there are some people that are not when we are talking of glue everybody together? Are you also talking about even the cleaner that are cleaning the hospital,
Exactly.
people that are ensuring the security, all those?
Yes, we are the glue because we matter. You are the one that knows that this patient room needs to be. You go into the room. You know this room has to be tidy. You know the importance of a clean environment to your patient. You know the importance of security for your patient. If your patient is threatened or if they feel like they can be harmed, they will not be they will not have peace of mind, right? So you have to make sure that everything is working together, the physical health of your patient, the psychological aspect of their health, their psychosocial, and everything is well taken care of. So either way, every aspect of their healthcare journey, you are there to glue you together, and that is who you are. You matter.
Thank
Without a nurse, nothing can happen.
Wow, without a nurse, nothing can happen. I'm so proud about that because I'm feeling excited with this statement now. And thank you very much. Now, that will take me to the next question, and that is can you just briefly tell us the history? I know it's a long thing, but can you just briefly tell us the history of nursing practices on a global, I mean, on a global perspective?
Well, the history of nursing can be dated back to the mid 90s. You know, 19th century. At that point, nursing was not appreciated. You know, there are all those there are jobs that nobody want their children to go into. They believe that they are either witches or prostitutes, and that is who they are. But you know, Nightingale took it upon herself, and that's why she's our mother. That's why she's our role model, you know. She took herself to change that image. And this image did not change until the British Crimean War, when the minister actually invited her to come and help and save the soldiers because they were not getting any better. So she actually had to do this with other people. And that's what I said, because she knows the importance of sanitation, of a clean environment to the health care of the patient. She knows the importance of good nutrition. She knows the importance of clean water, you know. She made use of all of these things to change the face of nursing. This she makes sure that even in her in her own discomfort, she created comfort for her patients, you know. And when she did all of this, somebody is saying, I think there's a problem. I can't hear you.
Yeah, no
Okay,
problem.
I
We
can
can
hear
we
you.
can continue. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. So she knows the essence of, like I said, she knows the essence of the clean environment, ventilation, water, nutrition, their management into all of this. And these are the things that were lacking at that point. She took it upon herself to make them know that these are things that we heard in the healing. And when she did that, they saw that this is something they had to support. You know, she wrote a book, Why We Should Be Nurses, and gradually nursing school started, and before we know it now, nurses are in the military, nurses are everywhere. So our mother started the journey and she fought for us. And she did this even when there was no electricity. She did it with a lamp, and that's why we call her the lady with the lamp. And that's why I said we should let our light illuminate the world, you know. Yes. So
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Now, are there other areas where nurses can actually work aside from the hospital? Is there another thing? Because this is the general perspective that nurses they only work in the hospital. Is there any other areas they work?
the way the umbrella of nursing is growing, there are so many specialties that are fast growing now. It will take you outside the usual setting. It will take you outside the usual setting of hospital, clinic. Today, nurses are working in the community. They are working in the courtroom. They are working in the schools, you know. So what kind of nurse do you want to be? Every nurse is different. You don't have to be a method. Even in the hospital, we have different specialties. We have nurses that all they do is they take care of the heart. They are cardiac nurses. There are nurses that all they know about is all about medical surgical, like, okay, surgery is all I have to do. There are nurses that work in the theater, and that is even the hospital setting. We have community and family nurse. And these are people that shine every day in the community, you know. They help people, they help new mothers, they help the elderly, they help the entire family in the community. And that is what they do at the community level. We have parish nurses. They take care of the spirituality of people in their, you know, in their churches, their mosques, and all of that. We have rural nurses. They go into the rural communities. They are different from community nurses. They go there regarding their health and wellness. We have school nurses. We have the nurse practitioner, the home health nurses that go into your home to take care of you. And like I said, when I said there are different specialty, they are nurse case managers. They are in charge of the case of the patient. They okay, what is the next step? What should happen? Who should come in? Should we go for a psych consult? Okay, as a psychiatric seeing this patient, is this patient going for rehab? That is what they do. They are case manager. They manage that patient from admission to discharge. They use their knowledge and organizational skill to make sure that the patient care is coordinated. We have we have occupational health nurses. They work in companies, in industries. We have forensic nurses. They investigate crime scenes, the medical aspect of it. We have legal nurse consultants. They use their clinical expertise to think on the legal aspect of our nursing jobs. Like, okay, if you're in trouble, how do I protect you as a nurse? You know, so it's unlimited. We have infection disease nurses. Yeah, it's like adult geriatric nurses, nurse administrator. Like seriously, it's unlimited. Rehabilitation nurses. You no nurses are not limited to the hospital. They are, the umbrella is so wide now. So it depends on what you want to do. Where do you think you can try? Where is your passion in? Where are you going to shine? And that's what matters.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So it's very, very wide,
It is wide.
and so there are a lot of opportunities in nursing profession. Thank you for sharing that with us, because what we only know about is that nurses are always there to serve the doctor. So we never knew there are so many other areas there that the nurses can also function.
There are nurse
Thank you very much.
practitioners now that they coordinate their own patient care. Patient, they are like consultants. So yeah, we are independent practitioners, care providers. We are independent in our own rights.
Thank you very much. Now, what are the roles of nurses in? I want you to give us exactly what are their roles in the hospital, not medicalized center, and then in the community. What are actually the roles of nurses in those three areas?
Well, like I said, it depends on who you are. It depends on your specialty. If you are a nurse in the hospital, you are providing care for that patient. You are making sure that okay, I'm going to start from the community. The community is where the health promotion and the illness prevention starts, right? Because at that point, if that fails, that is when they have to proceed to the hospital, and that is where they get the health management, you know. So the rural nurses, like, okay, I'm a rural nurse. Now what am I going to do? I'm making sure that these people in the rural area, they don't have access to clean water, or they don't even know what clean water is all about. I know the water they are drinking is harmful to their health. I'm going to go into the community, talk to them, find a way to make sure that that water is purified. I'm going to work with authorities, the policy makers, to see how we can make sure that we are promoting the health of these people. Okay, this stagnant water is going to give you, like, okay, fine, we're going to use Nigeria as a case study now. Stagnant water is going to give you malaria, it's going to make mosquito breed here. This is what you should do. Use net, protect yourself. They are promoting health. Okay, at this point, do this. Okay, you are not feeling fine. This is what you should do, Now, if a patient gets to happen to now fall sick, despite all the health promotion they are trying to do in the community, we take care of them. The rural health nurse has made sure that they are immunized, so that they are protected against infectious disease and whatever can come up. But sometimes, despite everything, illness happen, right? So the nurse in the hospital will do the health management. You nurse this patient back to health, right? And even when you are sending them back to the community, there are times you have to send a patient back home with an home health nurse that will help them in their home. Make sure that their oxygen is, they are using, their oxygen is maintained, They are taking their drug and they should take them. Their appointment is being kept. Don't forget that we have a rural community nurse in that environment. But this home health nurse takes care of you in your home. Make sure that everything is coordinated. And apart from that, a woman gets pregnant, she has a baby. The community health nurse, that's what they do. They make sure that they go to your home. They make sure, are you settling down properly? Are you breastfeeding? Do you have a problem? Do they have to involve the midwife? Do they have to involve your gynecologist again? So it depends on what area you're actually specializing. That depends on what you give back to the community as a nurse at that point. So if a patient comes into the hospital and he has a heart problem, now we know that the nurse in charge of that patient at that point is going to be a cardiac nurse. It's not going to be just a regular nurse. She knows that, oh, if the heart rate is going this way, oh, this is an AFib, we should manage it with we should manage it. We should, if I don't know anything about heart rhythms now, I won't know if my patient is in AFib, right? I won't know if my patient is going to sinus tachycardia because it's not my specialty, right? If I am a general no, a general practitioner, like a med surg nurse, I know that once my patient come back from surgery and is moving towards this extent, he's not doing well. A cardiac nurse might not know that. So even when you float to units, they try to consider your specialty, like, okay, is this something you can do? They don't just generalize the fact that you are nurses. So your specialty determine or define what you give back to the society in whatever units that you work, whether in the community or in the hospital setting.
Thank you very much. Thank you very
Yeah.
much. And I think I am beginning to get interested in some of these specialties that you mentioned, and it's quite very interesting for the public to be aware of that. Now, I eventually have to take you to some of the points that you just raised that are very, very, I mean, they are pertinent points. I will like us to take a scenario case, or let me say, with the situation that, we found ourselves in Nigeria, where a lot of things are going wrong in the country. Now, how do you think, with your experience now, because you've worked in Nigeria and now you are United States, how do you think we can improve the, the the services from Nigerian nurses, most especially with, I know there are issues, so many issues, on the ground, talking about the point of entry, talking about salary scale, talking about the scheme of services, and there are so many problems on ground. But even with all these challenges, we still see nurses going around with their duty and performing excellently. We see midwives. I can't imagine that. We see midwives taking lamp, a kerosene lamp, to deliver a pregnant woman. This is not right. No light, no electricity, and yet she ensured that this woman that is in labor, that is in pain, deliver successfully. And yet The government do not appreciate this group of people. What can you say about that?
Well, the truth about it is we need to regularize the policies at home. There's like I'll tell you, and I have to be sincere. It's not things don't work every time. Like there are times we have to go beyond our scope here to like we have to stretch ourselves. On a normal basis, like they'll give you like four patients because they believe expect you to give your best to the patient. There are times we go as high as six patients, you know. And at that point, when they give you six patients, they'll tell you to do your focused assessment and leave the other part. We expect so much from nurses back home. One, number two, we do so many things that are basically not our duty. It is not a nurse's duty to be chasing security people around. It's true. I don't have to bother my head about how electricity should work in the hospital. I want to provide care, make policies, make things happen. If the light goes off, we understand that it is. It's not like here that the light is always on. Like even if they had storm, they have backups. This is an hospital setting, right? If the light should go off, we don't have to wait and start going to send somebody to the generator house to go and tell them to switch on the light because we need it. People should normalize doing their work right, not because they are expecting like not because we are feeling like we are bosses in our own capability. So I am a boss in my own office. Now you are coming to my own office and meet me. Let us normalize doing our work right, and let us normalize delegation. Over familiarity is too much in the healthcare setting. Now I'm going to tell you the truth. You cannot see. I have worked with people that are way older than me, and they are patient care technicians, and they go out of their way to make sure that my patients are comfortable. Like I was discussing with my husband a few days ago, I said, this job that I started a while ago, I don't even know when my patient goes to pee because it's not part of my job. I don't know when my patient requests for water because it's not part of my job. We all have a telecommunication system. When the patient presses the bell to want to go to the bathroom, he goes straight to the PCT. He doesn't come to me. The only reason why it will come to me is if the PCT is not available to do that, and or we need to escalate or something happen. You know, we need to normalize doing what we should do. If we focus on the fact that we like I'm going to give you a scenario like patient nurses should start setting IV access back home. It is a nursing job. Triage your patient, talk to your patient, know what is wrong. I have bosses that are telling me that if you start doing that, what is the work of the doctor? So what do you even know about your patient? What education are you giving? What care coordination are we doing? So, like I said, there should be policies in place on how people should do their work, and when they don't do it, they should be punished. You know, I can choose not to go to work tomorrow and say, okay, I'm not coming tomorrow. I've told them ahead. You cannot be at work and not function. You cannot be at work and say you are supposed to be in the generator room. You not say you went to buy food. No, you are coming to work. You have to plan ahead. Get your food while you are coming back from home. Take your break. Okay, this is my break. While I'm on break, is there somebody that is available on ground to fix this in case anything happens? And that comes to us. So are we willing to go the extra mile? Nurses are willing to go the extra mile, right? But sometimes you feel you're not being compensated. I tell people it might not be financial compensation. It might be that whatever you do at that point is going to add to your profession, to your career growth. It might be a way to open doors. Somebody might see and say, oh, she goes above and beyond her job, and it opens way for you. So we have to normalize just doing it right, irrespective of what we are going through. Seriously, I know. I worked in Luz, and I'm not saying this because I'm not in the United States. People can go to Luther and ask who Popola Cafe is. It made it easier for me to be able to do what I am doing here because this is like a continuity of who I am. So it's not difficult to now do more. Let's normalize customer service. Let's normalize talking to people and making them understand. When you come in and you're already frowning your face and Emma disturb me. Do you understand? Oh, I'm sorry, this is what is happening, this is what's happening. Nobody is unreasonable. Seriously, there are times we have people that you might have to escalate things, right? I get that. But if you normalize doing it right, when people see you are doing it right, they don't just attack you. They reason are like, oh no, she's not that kind of person. How do we do it? But we need a lot of reforms in nursing. I'm telling you, we need a lot of reforms. Nurses to stop serving drugs. They should stop serving food. Food is not our job. Student nurses should stop serving food during clinicals. It is freaking not our job. We should not take vitals as part of clinical examination. Do a full assessment of your patient. Think about what possible diagnosis could this patient have. We've had patients that nurses don't even know values of their laboratory investigation. They don't even know what it means to have whatever value. You don't know when your patient is deteriorating. They give you a result and you tell them to wait for their doctors, right? We have to normalize doing this thing right. Even when the health system is not functional, or go out of your way to be that glue that does it better. You understand? And just make a difference and make impact.
Thank you very much for that beautiful experience that you shared with us. But on the other hand, do you think these are some of the challenges that Nigerian nurses are facing? What about the government effort in putting things straight? I want to take an instance of salary scale, whereby we see too much of disparities, differences in the healthcare professionals, and we see that some healthcare professionals are more higher than others. Don't you think this could be some of the factors that can bring about this laxity? These unfunctional things that can be found that can be known or as the challenges for Nigerian nurses.
Who are the people fighting our battle? Who? You want to fight, right? Are you doing it right? Are you giving, even when people want to speak for you, are you giving them reasons to speak for you? Who are you sending out to go and talk, to go and defend you? Are there people that will get to the table and they don't know what to say? We have to normalize going out of our ways. We have to normalize education. We have to normalize growth. We have to normalize specialization. I am a cardiac nurse. When a cardiologist come in, we communicate because we have the same language, right? He knows that I know what I'm saying. I know my onions. When you send people out, do they know their onions? Do they know what the policy is saying? Are they educated? Are they administrators? People go in here, basically they go into the university to be trained as nurse administrators. They go, do you understand? Who are the people fighting our battles for us? If we are not motivated, if we think, okay, it's causing the laxity, let us ask ourselves, who are the people fighting our battles for us? I know we have bachelor degree nurses, right? But most of these people that are fighting our battles for us, that are our policy makers, that are going there, what are they doing there? Are they really fighting our battles? When they get to that table and they are giving scenarios, are they really, really fighting that battle? So if we, the other ones, are saying we want to be lax, we are not developing ourselves, we are not growing, we are not giving our best out. How do we get to that point? We can weed them out. I have people in their 20s, in their 30s, they are chargers. They are not charged. Do you understand that? They are not leaders here. They're going to school to be administrators. I understand good working environment works, but we can make it happen. We can have a team that will make things happen. You can be on duty and people will say, oh, she's the one at work. I am rest assured this is done. And nobody will talk to you. Now, if somebody like you now rise up that you want to fight against disparity, people will not say no to you because they know you know what you're talking about. People fighting for us. Who are the people fighting our battles for us? And that's what I'm saying. So if we keep saying we keep talking in school, we keep talking on social media, and we get to the work field, are we helping issues? Are we fighting the battles the right way? Are you trying to tell the doctor, you don't have to give me that, you cannot be talking to me like that? Did you give him a reason not to talk to you like that? Did you give a pharmacy reason not to tell you that he's higher than you? There's hierarchy. I am a nurse. There's a charge nurse. there's a nurse administrator, there's an MP. They know their onions, right? When an MD comes in and want to talk to you, or you even want to tell him that this is what is wrong with my patient, or this is the situation of my patient, this is the background, this is my assessment, this is what I think we should do. We give recommendation and they listen because they know you know your onions. So do we know our onions? Who are the people fighting our battles for us? That's the truth about it. Who are our policy makers? Who are there at the table to fight the battles for us? We need to do better. We can do better. That's the truth.
Thank you very much. We need to do better and we can do better. That is from Oscar is up. Thank you very much. I can see that you are really vibrating on this particular thing, especially when it comes to Nigerian issues, based on your past experience and what you are currently seeing now is quite the disparity is quite enormous.
It
Now
is,
that would
but
take okay.
they're not better than us. I'm telling
Exactly.
you, they're not. We are very hardworking. We are wonderful nurses. We are good people. We give our best anywhere we are. It's just unfortunate. Who are the people fighting our battles for us? That's it.
So, who are the people fighting for the battles of Nigerian nurses? And I think for those of you that you are watching this program, this is actually coming up from Adam Set Media on YouTube. And this is actually in commemoration of Nurses Week. And my guest has been a wonderful speaker. She's someone that has been even taking the course of championing this. Things should be better in the healthcare industries at large in Nigeria. And she had both, Nigerian experience, and she also had experience outside the country. Thank you very much for coming up on the show. Now, this will take me to another question, and that is why is this week? This May 10th to May 16th, and most especially this particular today, which is 12th, why is it set aside as an International Nurses Week?
Well, actually, the celebration started by the International Council of Nurses since the 1960s. Actually, they are using it to celebrate us, like I said, for everything we're doing. And today is the birthday of our mother, Nightingale.
Wow.
So in a
Wow.
way, they are trying to like celebrate, keep our memory alive, to tell her that we remember her, we appreciate her sacrifice and everything she did to bring us into this point. So yeah, the week is to say thank you, nurses, for being the light on the world, and thank you, Nightingale, for everything you have done, everything you sacrificed to make sure that nursing actually has a stand. So yeah.
Thank you very much, and happy birthday to Florence Nightingale. Even though she's dead, we
I
want
think
to
it's
say when she's
201 now, right? She should be 201
201.
now if she was alive. So yeah.
Can we briefly talk? I know you mentioned it when we talk about to talk about brief history of nursing, but can we briefly say something about her personality and why is it now that was she the one? But I think there is this history that nursing started from years back, from years immemorial, even right from the creation of Adam and Eve, and now we are talking of someone of just 200 years ago. Why?
Well, because nursing then is just like we as mothers, we are nurses, right? If somebody is sick, we nurse them in the house. But the scientific backing, do we have scientific backing for everything that we are doing? And that's what she actually brought into nursing. She actually brought the scientific backing of infection prevention, the purpose of nutrition, clean environment to the health of your patient. If a patient is in a clean environment, they actually feel better. Like if I'm in the hospital and I feel dirty, do I want to be here? Am I going to be sad? Like I'm seeing everywhere so rough. Is it going, and it's going to even germinate more germs. She actually brings the scientific backing into nursing, even when nobody wants to do that. So nursing has been here since like forever. Everybody knows their sick ones now, right? But what is the science between what you are doing? And that is why I tell people, what's the difference between a professional nurse and a quack? Let that person, a skilled nurse is not cheap to come by. If that person is cheap, you're not a skilled nurse because I give a rationale for everything I'm doing. Bring your own rationale. And that's what she brought into nursing. She brought the science of nursing into it. Like, for everything you are doing, there should be a backing, there should be a rationale, right? And that is it. She only scientified it and made it into a profession and brought it into the limelight.
Thank you very much for coming up on the show. It's quite an interesting interview with my guest. And I also, for my end, to want to wish you happy International Nurses Week. I hope you guys had the wonderful Nurses Week in your workplace.
Yeah, they gave us gifts. I got a
Wow.
sticker. Yeah, like seriously, different times they came in with treats. They gave us t-shirts to say thank you for everything you're doing. You know, different nurse managers. Like, I have a key. Like, my badge holder actually has my name on it, like Kafayat, and it was actually a gift, a nurse's week gift. Like, thank you for everything you're doing. So, every time I hold my bag, I was like, that is my name, and it was a gift from my DO hand that thank you for everything you're doing, and yeah, so that is
So
it.
as an individual, so when you see this your badge and you see it, you use it on you, how do you feel like?
Well, I feel appreciated, and that is it. When you're appreciated, you want to do more. Like Yoruba we say, yini yini keni shemi, you feel like you're being seen. And that is it. When you feel seen, you want to do more. Something else might come up. That is just the truth. When I'm being seen, I want to do more. Not because Ojuaye, she's around, let me quickly do. No. Do it so that you're appreciated, right? We see everything you're doing. So thank you. So that's it. I feel
So thank
seen.
you. You see, that is very interesting, very great. Before we end the show, I still have just two questions. Then we end the show. Now at this junction, what advice do you have to? I want to be more specific because I know things are not going well, especially in Africa, and most especially in Nigeria. What advice do you have to? I mean, for the government, or don't let me start with the government, for the nursing organizations, especially the nursing mothers body, that is the National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives. What were they supposed to do more to ensure that nurses perform their roles better and they feel more secure and they are more motivated?
They should stop fighting battles without backing. Like doctors are on strike, give they are increasing doctor salary, they should increase their salary. You want to go on strike. What are your policies? What are your regulations? What are you aiming to gain? If you go to the table to negotiate, what exactly do you aim to bring out, right? That is it. Go make sure you have policies that will work for your people. Not because somebody is doing something. Go back to the drawing table and fight for the right of your people the right way. Let them give nurses their dues, not because you are in a competition with somebody. Don't compete. If you actually fight for their welfare, things will turn out right. Stop all these unnecessary competition. We are not competitors. We are different entities. So we should have a policy. See, I'm sorry, but the sincere truth is when they are fighting their battles, our other professional colleagues, they bring out that point one by one. Bring out your points, what you aim to achieve. And that's what I'm saying. Who are the people fighting our battles? If you think the people representing us are not doing it right, find people among us, sit down and do it right. Find policies that will favor nurses, push it out, fight for it. In US, it used to be like anywhere, anything goes. Now they have associations that fight for them. If they give you more than 5 patients, if they put you more than this particular number of duties, you cannot pay nurses less than this per hour. They are fighting, they know what they want. Don't compare yourself, don't do comparison battle. This is what we want for our nurses. This is why. This is what we aim to achieve. This is what will happen if we achieve this. Exactly. Go back to the drawing table, find good representatives, fight for policy that will improve nursing in the country. Stop competition.
Thank you very much. I know your baby is almost disturbing you. We are almost finishing now. To have the last word. what advice do you have for the government to do more? I mean, to motivate, I mean, the Nigerian nurses.
I sincerely know they see everything nurses do. They don't have to wait for us to fight. We should have representatives. They should also care about what their citizen is going through. How can we make it better? The health of the all of their people should matter. If the nurses are not working right, it will affect everybody. So how can we make it better? How can we make Nigeria a more healthy community? Talk to the nursing leaders and make it better, please. Come on.
Thank you very much for coming up on the show. Thank you, nurse. Kapis Hub. You can actually follow her on Instagram. That is just the name. You can. She shares a lot of essential tips. Let me release you because you have to take care of your child. Thank you very much for coming up on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.
And to all nurses.
So I'm sorry about that. I think she needed to quickly end this conversation so that she has to go and take it. And that is exactly what I told you. Because these are very wonderful people. She denied. She came for my interview and judge has to. So they are I mean, they're everywhere. So thank you very much, my people. Thank you so much to all my viewers that came up for the show. I want to sincerely apologize once again that we started behind the schedule. I hope I want to believe next time is going to be more better than this, and we're going to be more organized than this. And thank you so much for coming up on the show. I, I appreciate all of you. You can actually also put down your comments. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel and try follow, open the notification bell so that next time I drop a new video, you can easily ask. Have the information that there is a new video that has been taught here. And it's quite an interesting interview with my guest. And thank you so much to all of you that came up. To the show. I would like to appreciate all of you. Thank you very much. And I think I have to leave you guys and have a very, very wonderful evening wherever you are. If you are in Africa, you are in Europe, have a wonderful evening. You are in United States, have a wonderful day or morning or afternoon wherever you may be around the world. Thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and open the notification bell. Mind you, COVID is still much more around. We need to keep the world safe. Thank you very much. Bye.